Welcome everyone to the Island Life podcast, where we journey onto the island of discovery to relive some of the best and worst moments of Survivor. My name is Will, an experienced Survivor fan, 48 seasons deep, and I will be your guide. And joining us on this adventure is our rising Survivor fan with 12 seasons under her belt, and
Hello, we're back for a new season.
now, tonight, we don't have the Survivor newbie, but we are excited to invite back in his place our former guest we had a while ago, Joe.
Happy to be back and happy to talk about a fun episode.
Oh, yes, not just a fun episode, because we're back for another season. We are going through, so we just did season 37, David vs. Goliath. Very exciting, awesome things. We'll never forget that Angelina got the race.
But not the jacket.
Not the jacket.
That's
Jacket
correct.
gate.
That's all you need to know. Spoiler-free description of that season. And we are now getting into season 13, Cook Islands. So we've gone back, not as far back as Pearl Islands. We did that a while ago, but 2006 is when this aired originally. It is a non-Fiji season. It's the Cook Islands. Not that I would know where that is on the globe, but it's not Fiji. And it's also not a themed season with an asterisk, as in David versus Goliath was in the subtitle themed season. In theory, this was not supposed to be a theme season. It's just Cook Islands. Before we get into it at all, we have to address the craziness that is the actual concept of what this season is. And what is your reaction during the cold open when Jeff reveals to us our 4 tribes?
I'm shocked. I'm like speechless, jaw on the floor, rolled back to Cook Island. I'm shocked that was a thing, and I don't know who thought of it, who thought it was a great idea. I don't know. Just kind of different, David versus Goliath. I get the difference, but to divide people by their race is a little bit much for 2006, right? You said so
I
crazy.
mean,
We didn't even get to see their reactions. It was just get out of the boat, go, go, go.
I can only imagine what that would have been like, because a lot of the seasons start with them. They're all standing on mats, and either they get split up to tribes, or they're meeting everyone on camera for the first time, like for us, and then Jeff talks about what the theme is. But yeah, we skipped all that. But what would that have been like? So he probably would have been like, everyone look around.
Yeah.
You should, have
What
an
do you
idea what
think
this
you
is gonna be.
guys have something in common?
Stand with whoever looks the closest to you.
I could just imagine like a side and it was like, I look around and I'm seeing and I'm like, wow, I guess it's my people. And I guess that's how we're split off. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine what I feel like it's just this awkwardness. And that's why they were like, yeah, we're going to take that out. That edit makes it look bad because it's all about the edits. So I feel like it just didn't like the reaction wasn't what they thought it was, but they just had to push right through it.
It could be. Now cold open is pretty cool, and I imagine by this point, like, people have seen the marooning type of thing, so it's not like it doesn't need to be explained to the audience what's happening.
I do love
And
the
the
cold open of him walking up the boat as they're already doing it, though. It's such a cool scene to open the season on.
It's so chaotic compared to, like, new seasons, like, "Welcome back, everyone's fan." It's like, "Why are you into Survivor?" Or like, "Tell me why you deserve to win." This time it's just like, "Everybody's here, let's go." It's so different, but it is very cool though. And as you guys know, I am quite like beginner, so I thought the marooning or this type of thing was specifically for the other one that we were watching because it was pirate themed. I was not aware it was gonna translate through this season too.
Yeah, it used
it
to be a
is a
standard.
type of thing.
I think they should bring it back, and the least they expect it. They need to bring it back when they don't know. It's not part of the meta, so they're not prepared for this. And I want that again. I want it back.
I would
That
be
probably
fine
can
with
go
them
for
just
most
bringing
things.
all old Survivor back.
So you're
Well,
you're into like the
but
old
how old we're
stuff.
talking?
39 days, maybe a couple less idols that you actually need clues to find, and marooning, and new locations. Not asking for too much.
It feels like a lot of that. Well, let me ask you this. Did you make the time? I probably asked this when we talked last time. Did you make the time to answer Jeff's questions in the hands of the fans?
I answered them the second the QR code was on the TV.
I love it.
Because one of them's
And
like,
I played the game within the game when they did that in 41 or 42. I solved those every day. I got my certificate that said that I solved every puzzle or whatever it was.
Wow.
that's
That's
amazing.
incredible. That is incredible.
Because what that in the hands of the fan, one of those questions was like, do you want all these idols and advantages to keep the game fresh and exciting, or is it like, do you not want excitement and you want a slow pace game and no idols and no anything? It was very, very Jeff coded style of question. So yeah, I'm curious how we'll see. Like, obviously, when we compare current to any old season, even 37, like, had differences. So of course, this season's gonna feel very different. And I know he isn't here, but this is not baby's first, toddler's first, and Angie's first for a 4-tribe season. So you've seen 2 tribes,
Yeah.
you've seen 3 tribes. This is your first 4-tribe season.
I don't know. I think it's chaotic. I think Four Tribes is getting me a little confuzzled with the groups. You would think I would be really good at knowing the groups because of the theme,
Yeah, no, they
but
thought of
no,
that.
I am still confused. No, I am still just as confused. I'm like, wait, who's the lady that missed the chicken and lost them? And I'm like, oh, it's this group. Nope, it's not. So I'm just as confused. And I also think that the tribes are smaller, right? Because there's more of them. I just feel like smaller tribes feel uh makes tribal council too easy. Like, it feels like just 4 people have to agree or, like, 3 people have to agree, and then bam, that's it. That's majority. Like, is it weird that I kinda like more people, a bigger group, I guess?
I'm with you. I like the larger tribals as well. I think that they can be kind of crazy and hard to keep track of, especially when you don't know all the players very well at the beginning. But I think it makes for more exciting votes than there's 3 girls and 2 guys, so most likely one of the guys is going.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because it seems like it's so, like, easy to just be like, "Oh, me, you, someone else gotta say yes, and that's it." You just gotta pull in 2 people and we're done. Versus in a bigger group, you gotta do more polling, there's more plays, there's worry about splits. It's just more exciting to me versus the 4 smalls. 1, I'm confused. 2, I feel like I'm not seeing all of them equally or as much, and then, I don't know. I just, 4 groups is a little too much for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've
and as a
seen.
viewer,
Go ahead.
as a viewer, like obviously they want to point you in the direction the show's gonna go, but when it's 5 people, you know the 1 or maybe 2 people that are on the fence. So when it's such a small tribe, there's not really like, oh, it could be this or it could be this. It's kind of just like we're gonna watch this person go home.
Yeah, and I wonder because I never seen it, so I wonder if the merge is gonna not happen, it's just gonna split to 2 teams, like 2 tribes get together and make 2 teams, and then they merge together or something. I don't know, I'm just curious how that's gonna work.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, right? Because we've seen the 3-tribe, 6-person each version. That's the current era. And
Mhm.
for a lot of those, the new era seasons, it was they just stay they're 3 until the merge. But a couple of them, they did like mix it up and then like do a final merge. But usually they don't. So here, will they remain 4 the whole time? Will they shrink to 3? Will they shrink to 2? We don't know. And then there might be something to in the current era. The tribe is also small, but it is also an even number. There's the potential for the storyline being 3 versus 3, and things are like if you're worried about traditional gender splits, then there's 3 men and 3 women. So that's a tie
Right.
there. Granted, there's so many other reasons to potentially be an alliance, so that's not guaranteed to help you, but it could help you. Whereas here, there has to be it's an odd number on each tribe. But but it does make it like if you're there, I would love to think you feel like the game has started immediately because like you're in danger immediately.
Like you have to start
Uh,
right away.
and when you don't, or when you make a mistake, it's very punishing.
Oof.
Like you,
Speaking of mistakes.
oh yeah, well we got a lot of mistakes again too. So to be clear, so Jeff Probst during this cold open, they're all on the boat, grabbing supplies, grabbing chickens, jumping off into the raft or whatever. He explains that this season there's 4 tribes, all based on race. So we end up getting, and we're just gonna go through each tribe right now. Each person, I'll read their name, their little description, their age, where they're from, and if we have something to say about them now, we can say it. So we'll just start with. So, oh, by the way, all for some reason, all these tribes have full names, and they are never actually referred to as their full name. Very odd. The first being Rarotonga. Raro is what's called.
Raro.
Blue, if you're
Okay.
watching along, this is the Blue tribe. And this is the traditionally Caucasian tribe. Or the fans may say the White tribe. This lovingly / non-lovingly is often referred to as Survivor Race Wars, just so you know. That
Oh.
name does appear. So look, and maybe as we talk about this, I think we'll be okay, but light trigger warning, just like some of these situations will be awkward. Like it is weird to talk about, and it's weirder that it happened in the 2000s too. All of this is so strange. But here we go. So first on Raro is Adam Gentry, 27, from San Diego, California. He is listed as a copier sales executive. And I think it's just fair to also throw in Candice Woodcock, 23, from Washington, D.C., a pre-med student. So those are our first 2 people. Uh, these are cuddlers in
The
quotes?
Cuddlers, yes, that I remember. I was like, "Who?" But I remember. I do remember Candice just because of the recent episode we watched. Honestly, I don't remember them much. I won't lie. So, I just remember them cuddling, and maybe they'll have a showmance, who knows?
Yeah, especially it seems like for the time they were trying to push like oh, people are gonna get together on their island. It's not just a survivor game anymore. Maybe they're gonna end up together.
Oh, like finding love.
Yeah, in the first episode they talked about it a lot, how they both thought each other were really cute. They like sleeping next to each other. Adam's a big man and a lot of not survivor stuff.
Well, look, they were all 5 of them were, like, cuddling for warmth at first because they failed to really put together a shelter. And then, yeah, cuddling expanded to more things. But okay, so
Uh,
we got
yeah.
Adam,
I
we got Candice. More on Candice when we talk about episode 2. So stay if you know, you know.
Mhm.
To stay tuned for that. Uh, then we have Jessica Smith, 27, from Chico, California.
Oh,
She's listed as
Jessica.
a roller girl. This is
Oh.
the lady
Also
with
a
the
chicken loser.
pigtails.
Yes, the chicken loser. I cringe when that happened because I don't know what happened. I was not sure why she did that, and, that moment, I was like, "She's going home. It's over."
It's like the he or she let your intrusive thoughts take over. She's like, "What would happen if I pick up this ball? Oh, no!" And then they're just gone.
I don't even know what was happening. It's not like they were like, "Oh, can you check on the chicken? Take a look." And then no, she just walked over there, lifted, and both chickens ran out, and then boom, they were so happy about getting their chickens, and then this 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 happened. Unfortunate.
By the way, you good? We just talked about, like, preferring things from old seasons. R Stark difference. I mean, these tribes, all 4 of them are loaded from the marooning. Like, they have a lot of stuff. They got a lot of
Oh
food,
yeah.
including the chickens. Compared to present day, you get Jeff is very proud to be like, "You got a pot, machete, you got a Wind your flint."
Yeah, is
That's
there
Yeah,
it.
no
none
fish
of
in
them had
Fiji?
Flint.
That's true.
That's true. That's fair.
And I
That's
mean,
true.
they have water that they have to boil. They don't get that anymore. They just get clean water.
Oh. I have suspicion about how clean that water is. That well, some people will put their hands in there, fish around for idols. I don't trust it.
That's what I've heard. Is I've heard at the start of the season it's filled with clean water, and then it's not cleaned again. So you make it
Oh,
dirty, but
ew, that's so
it
gross.
is drinkable water to start.
Oh dear.
It's drinkable for now.
But I imagine when like Sue cleaned her red paint in the well, they had to clean it out then. Like that was crazy.
And that was so
Gosh,
gross.
they're just like, yeah, she took the risk. If people are suspicious why the well is red, then that's on Sue. And then they
That's true, but that's also
gotta
like
go
it's a
boil water.
hazard if they thought she was bleeding.
Yeah,
Feel
she
like
tried to pass it as blood, right? She said she was like
She
playing with a
did.
yeah.
machete or something like that.
Yeah, she cut herself or something, and then they're like, "Oh, what's going on with Sue? She's bleeding." I would be concerned.
But
She could lie about her age, she could lie about her health. I would be scared.
yeah, I like the marooning start though because yeah, they start with more, but they're gonna be on the island for a much longer time than they currently do, and they're not gonna ration it right. It's not gonna last as long, and they still need to build their shelter, and usually in harsher climates or learn the climate better, and still have to earn things like the flint to begin with. They didn't have it at the start, and they're there for 3 days before their first challenge. In New Era, you do your first challenge the first day, where 3 out of the 4 or 2 out of the 3 are gonna get their flint. And then the other
Mm.
Yeah,
ones will probably still get it that first day, or at least some supplies that first day by the second challenge or by tribal or the challenge the next day. It's also fast paced now.
yeah, I guess by giving the more you give the tribes, the more things they might try to do, which is the more things that might happen that are fun to watch.
Yeah, because I
So I
want
think
them to have energy. I just also want them to have 2 to 3 days where they do absolutely nothing and are bored, but they have energy to explore the island, climb trees, fish, do whatever else they can do around there, and hopefully gameplay.
yeah, that is another difference. I'll count this as a negative. Um, a lot of the edits of the 2 episodes we watched were there were good social interactions, but there was not much time spent on strategic conversations that weren't about, like, the tribe that's gonna go to tribal council.
Yeah,
Like, I
this
think
is
now they do a better job of giving clues onto what everyone's agendas might be, or that they have no agenda versus just no information at all.
Yeah, I think this or like early in Survivor, or especially this season, I think the season's almost all recruits. I don't know how much strategy they had. Any of them.
That's true. That could be there's if there's nothing to tell other than, like, in the moment, I mean, we're gonna see a strategy of this person's not helpful at camp. I want them out. I think, in fact, twice in a row, I think we're gonna see that justification as for what happened. So,
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
as
we'll
deep as
see.
it gets.
Uh, the fourth member of Raro is Jonathan Penner. He's 44 from Los Angeles, California, a writer. He is the person that one of the people that would end up being sent to Exile Island. Um, he also has that moment in the first episode where Jeff's just really asking questions, and he asks the Hiki tribe that had lost, "Why are you sending Penner?" And then they just I don't think they really had a reason. They're just like, "Well, he got accused of stealing of chicken from the Puka tribe or the Aitu tribe, one of them. So we're sending him." And then Jonathan's like upset about that too. He just want to be like he's just in a bad mood. So that's why I remember of him in these episodes. And last is Parvati Shallow, 23 from West Hollywood, California. See, that's a clue that these are recruits when so many people from Hollywood and LA. But
Oh, I didn't even put
West
that
Hollywood,
together.
California, boxer from Raro. Parvati, the only thing that really happened is what you remembered, Ange, which is that kosher?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they showed in the
Mm,
episode and on the previously on, so they really like the line.
Yeah, as she's holding the chicken, so I was like, "Does she mean the chicken?" And then I realized it meant the whole dividing of the tribes and how they were grouped. And, I'm glad someone's, like, kinda, questioning it, because I don't think they emphasize enough how weird this is, and I think they might do maybe this is on purpose just so you're not, like, thinking about this too much, but yeah. I don't know. That's the only part I remember of her.
I do wonder how soon was it when Jeff Probst was reconsidering this alignment, because we just did Dave versus Goliath, where every episode Jeff is making some analogy like, oh, this is what it means to be a Goliath. This is how he's a David. How do you feel like you're being a David right now?
Oh,
All
for
the time.
real. Oh my gosh, that put things in perspective. Because he doesn't really talk about that. What does it mean to be Asian? I would be like, Jeff, what? Pardon, what? But then
But yeah,
they talk about it though. Like I think the tribe members themselves kind of talk about in terms of like not wanting to go for a certain stereotype, or we got to represent, or I think they don't want to be a stereotype, but also they're trying to like represent their race. Well, I don't know, it's like a mix. It's so complicated because to represent being a David or being a Goliath is different than representing a race, period. I just ugh.
yeah, the tribe that talks about it probably the most is the Puka tribe. So now this is the Green tribe, the tribe that has everyone of Asian descent on it. I heard when we were watching, you were worried, like, please don't be the yellow tribe. Please don't be the yellow
Yes.
tribe.
Oh
Yes.
God.
I was worried, guys. I was so scared. I was like, please don't be yellow. Please don't be yellow.
I mean, when they're bold enough to separate a season this way, it's surprising that they didn't just do that as well. Just double down.
You were like, just go full send. If you're gonna do it, might as well do it. Embrace it. So,
Although Cowboy's covering all the extra Asian racist bases.
okay, Cowboys, I don't know, is it just he doesn't understand or he's just so blissfully ignorant? He's saying things that he should really be careful. I think current him could be canceled for this.
So we'll start with him. Cowboy Bui, maybe. 42, currently in Christiansburg, Virginia, and listed as a nail salon manager. Yeah, Cowboy is interesting. He is seemingly not bothered by this split up, and he's acting very comfortable with his tribe. But he's also he wants to embrace all the stereotypes and the jokes and be able to laugh at himself, which all sounds okay, but
Mhm.
it involves like telling those stereotypical jokes to his tribe, who are all apt to be offended by those jokes, and on television be saying that too, and listening to a bunch of them voice their opinion that they're not comfortable saying that he should not be saying it.
It's
He's unfazed
cringe.
by any of their concerns.
Yeah, he is just I feel like he in the beginning, I think he also says, like, he's, like, the oldest one out of, like, a group of young people too. So, I feel like he just feels like he is elderly, he can't do wrong. But I also feel like the way he's like, "Oh, you just gotta laugh about it. You just gotta, like" he's like that typical gotta use humor, to blast it away, but it's also like, as his tribe member said, it's like if you, like, make these jokes, you're allowing other people to make these jokes back to you, you know? So that's just it wouldn't work that way. And he's the only one, yeah, you're right, he's the only one that's really fully embraced this. He's like, "I'm just gonna send it. I got my people, I could make these jokes, that's okay." But it's like, "No, sir, actually, it's not."
Yeah. Although, he does have some confessionals where he's talking like sometimes he feels left out amongst the Asian community, even like at home. Like, and he says he's
Yeah.
older. He's older than these group of people, but he's only 42. I mean, we're not talking
Yeah.
about like 75-year-olds stuck in their ways.
I'm not gonna
Yeah, and
lie, I thought he was older than 42. I thought he
he
was older.
he looks older than 42. I'm surprised by
Yeah.
that too. But he said at the start too that he like these Jeff said in the cold open a bunch like 20 Americans, and he said like I'm different than the rest of my tribe because I'm a refugee. I'm not a first generation American or second generation American. I'm a refugee who came from Vietnam. So I think that he
Mm,
does just kind of view himself differently than the people he's around. But he
yeah, and that's
also
fair,
is quite the character as well.
Yeah. He is. I mean, he's the local like headache like healer.
Yeah, he's a medic.
He is a medic. Who needs the medic when you got him taking the wind out of you and giving you a red mark in the forehead?
Yes, for you to show on camera for the rest of your days now and be
Yeah.
laughed at by the other tribe members.
I know.
But both people said it worked. They said their headaches were gone.
You know they
Honestly, he's 2
did,
for 2.
but is this like a you want it to, like you would feel bad saying it doesn't work, so you're just gonna say that it works, like not me.
And I
Like I don't
wonder,
think someone would get mad. Like if someone got tired of him, they'd be like, and you know what? Your techniques don't work. It's all a sham.
I wonder, because like when Brad had it done to him, he didn't know any better. But Jenny got it done after seeing the mark on Brad's forehead. So Brad must have told her either it was worth it or Cowboy really forces it on you. I don't know what's the reality.
I don't know either. But she also was told she didn't want that mark on her. She didn't wanna do that same thing and then still ended up getting a mark. And I
That's
love
true.
how he was like, "You didn't get a big of a mark as he did." And then I'm like, "But I see it though." Like, "Girl, you got a mark."
Yeah, almost looked like she had two because there was one over her eyebrow
Yes!
as well.
Yes! I saw that. I'm like, and she doesn't have a hat. He had a hat to hide it.
Oh dear. Oh no.
And they don't have a mirror, right? They can't I
No,
don't believe
Nope.
they have
no, they
mirrors
don't know
where they
what they
could like,
look
"Oh,
like.
can I take a look?" I would be
I
like,
guess
"Oh
they
my
got the
gosh, I got this
I guess they have
giant
the
red mark on
water.
me."
Like maybe you could see a reflection of the water. Maybe.
If you see that red mark on a reflection of water, it's gonna be bad.
And Wild, he says that you
No.
won't really be better till the mark is healed. Like that's days. That's not a quick solution.
Like I think that's just the natural your headache passed. So it's just
For
also you had a
real.
run more. So that's Cowboy. Also on Puka Puka is Becky Lee, 28 from Washington, D.C., who's an attorney.
Who
The one
also
thing we
works
really
for
got
non-for-profit. So you'll trust her.
yes, very important. That's the one thing. We get a comment, and we've laughed about it in a couple different seasons, but don't trust the lawyers. But we see it here, like, Yule's like, I wouldn't have trusted her, but I mean, he doesn't say those words, but that's what he's implying. But she also has this non-for-profit stuff, so therefore I will make an exception and trust this lawyer. So that was
I mean,
interesting.
that's true. I mean, we say lawyers in Survivor, they either hide what they do or when they say it, they have a target on their back.
Yeah, it's I mock it, but at the end, like if if you are an attorney, if you're a lawyer, and you tell me you've been cast for Survivor, even though it shouldn't matter, and I don't think it matters, I have no choice but to tell you to consider hiding it due to the track record of so many people just deciding, they're dangerous. I'm targeting them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cannot be trusted. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like just like the meta of Survivor is lawyers are bad. But there's not really a whole lot of reason or evidence behind it.
Yeah, it's not evidence of their success. It's evidence of people making decisions based on knowing you're a lawyer, and therefore you must now seriously consider hiding the fact that you're a lawyer.
I think people have just always been afraid of a lawyer in Final Tribal because I assume that if you put them in front of a jury, because
Oh.
it's called a jury, that they're gonna convince you to get every vote.
I
But
never
it's
put that connection. That's so
well,
cool.
yeah, I feel like from the start, people know that you're going to end with a jury, and if you're a lawyer, they just don't like it. But it's not the same thing.
That isn't the same
That's
thing,
not how it
but
works.
you're
No,
right.
no.
But you're right. I think I never put that together. You're right, because they would be like, ideally, you'll think they're really good at talking and making their case, you know? But that's not the same thing.
Yeah. So that's her. We have Brad Verado, 29 from Santa Monica, California, a fashion director. As we said before, he was the first to get the red mark. I don't think we know his plans in the game yet, but he had a headache and it's gone now, so that's nice.
Yeah, we haven't
Uh,
really seen much plans at all from Puka. We've seen a lot of like the characters in there, but they haven't been in a position where we've had to see how they play.
yeah, not yet. We have Jenny Guzambe, 36 from Lake Forest, Illinois, a real estate agent. And we have Yul Kwan, 31 from San Mateo, California, a management consultant. Yul, so we mentioned Jonathan Yule is the other person in these 2 episodes sent to Exile Island. We will talk about him on Exile Island later, though, so hold your analysis for now. The third tribe, as I take a deep breath, because this is not only 4 tribes, this is 20 people. This is the most people we've ever had the breakdown. We have full name Aitu Taki. Aitu is what they're called, and this would be the team of all Hispanic people. And red, they're wearing red. And it all starts with Billy Garcia, 36, from New York City, a heavy metal musician. Yeah, Billy was a nobody, and then he was everybody. He was everything.
He had so much like plans too, you know. He was like talking big game, his plans of what he's gonna do, and in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, Billy, yes. And then he let me down.
And then after letting you down, also like blew all our minds in like the
Yes, he
craziest
did.
like 10 minutes of Survivor maybe you've ever watched. So
I'm
again,
not
hold your
over it.
analysis. But yes. We had Cecilia Mancia, 29, from Oakland, California, a risk consultant. They might be calling her CC. I might have caught that
Oh yes.
on the show.
Yeah,
I don't even
Christina
think she
called her
showed.
CC at least.
Yeah, I don't know that she even like appeared in the first episode. I don't remember a moment that but she had that scene in the second episode with Christina. You're right.
Yeah, the
And
first
Christina
episode, we really just
is
saw a lot of Billy.
Yeah. Christina, that's Christina Correa, 35, from Los Angeles, California. She is the police officer. We talk about lawyers. Sometimes police officers, firefighters, that type of thing. Sometimes they will hide that. Although firefighters, I think less often. I think for whatever reason, I think the firefighters get a pass. The police officers, though. We even had on this tribe someone else, Ozzy Luth. I've never even read this person's last name. Look at that. 24, from Venice, California, a waiter. So Ozzy, who I don't know that Jeff ever called him Oscar, but Christina calls him Oscar. Ozzy is already someone who, among the reasons he feels he's not willing to trust Christina fully, he brings up that she's a cop. So already, like, there's a chance that could be a stigma against you. But the thing is, like, for any occupation, to go in deciding you're gonna have a fake occupation is just so much like time commitment and trying to get your story straight. It is really hard, I think, to go a whole game keeping
Yeah, I think
what you do a
any
secret.
lie in Survivor is kind of risky, but that's such a big lie that people do all the time. And that changes like your whole background. I don't know if you really want to be there for the whole stay, you have to have that story down pat as well as like things around it. You can't make it up on the spot because you're going to have to remember it again in 3 or 4 days or in a week or when you merge or whenever you guys are talking about home again. It's such a crazy lie.
That is. It is, and it's also like it takes away your authenticity when you make it to the end. Like, I don't know, maybe you could like take away one part of it and then show off that you're actually this and this and that, but it's also like, okay, and why did you
Yeah,
need to do that?
I think you have to be viewed in the right light to go to Final Tribal and be like, "Oh, and I lied to all of you. This is what I really do." Because if you're not like, I don't know, if the tribe doesn't already have, or the jury doesn't already have some respect for you and how you played, they might just take it as a slap to the face and be like, "Okay, that makes us like you
Yeah.
less."
Yeah. I feel like we've seen it work well, like someone very young who lied about like their professional job. Maybe they said they were a student, and then I found out was like, actually, I'm not a student. I have a owner of my own business, like, or something like that. Like that has a chance.
And in
But
48, I
yeah,
think Kyle and I think they all did it in 40. Everybody but Joe, right? Because Kyle admitted he was a lawyer, and then oh, I can't think of her name right now. Joe and
Eva.
Eva, yeah, and then Eva admitted that she had her different role as well, and they were both the whole jury was impressed and surprised then, but I think that they did have the kind of that respect for them already, whereas, if the jury doesn't like you or in, like, older Survivor where the jury might be more bitter, they're not gonna take that and be impressed.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
it's
feel like
tough.
people are more bitter. I feel like the tribal so far has been like, ooh, dang, okay.
Yeah, see that could be a positive, depending on what you like your TV to be, because I feel like there is a limit. But right now, just I like people caring, and being angry can mean that you're passionate about something, at
I agree.
least.
I don't want people to be happy even when they lose because of it. Like, I wanna see that they cared and they were passionate. Passionate, that's what I want. I want passion.
Mhm.
Passion can be
Mhm.
anger or happiness or anything, but you just gotta care.
You don't want them to be, like, passive, like, "Oh, at least I, was in an episode or I made
Yeah,
it to a
like,
couple
"Oh, I
days."
made the merch, that's all I cared about." Like, "What? You were here to win. Who cares about the
Yeah.
merch?"
Yeah, yeah. To wrap up, Aitu, they also have JP Calderon, 30 from Long Beach, California, a professional volleyball player. Man, I mean, I could look up his stats.
Oh,
Like,
snap, I
he's a
didn't even know
professional
that.
volleyball player.
All these careers, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that."
Yeah, I
Wait,
feel
so
like not all of
is
these showed up. I guess they probably
yeah.
did in the
Wait,
little
quick
subtitle.
question, is Ozzy not Oscar?
He is his
So did
name's
they just
Oscar.
Oh,
He
okay,
just in
okay.
the show, even in, like, the opening title, he's just Ozzy. I think the
Okay.
only person who calls him Oscar is Christina.
Okay, got it. I was like, "Wait, so did she just call him Oscar
Nah,
without it being Oscar?"
see, yeah, I don't think this is a case of she just doesn't know his name. Although that is one of those things like of among all the reasons to not like someone, and they're not using my preferred name. That could just add it to the list
Yeah,
of
that's true.
things. Um, One more tribe. So now there's the Manahiki tribe, referred to on the show as Hiki. They're wearing yellow. This is the African American tribe. And on this tribe, we start with Nate Gonzalez, 25, from Playa del Rey, California, who is a shoe salesman. We see his scenes. He just seems like very excited. I thought, like especially last episode, like like rooting on his own team when they're competing. So I like the
Um,
energy.
yeah, yeah, Nate seems like a warm guy to be out on the island. He seems really friendly.
We also had Rebecca Borman, 34, from Laurelton, New York, who is a makeup artist. She ended up being in what seemingly a friendship, and I guess I don't know how aggressive alliance as a word is going to be used in this season, so I guess we'll see. Like if this was the current season, I would just say that Rebecca and Sandra are in an alliance. But in this season, it might just be they're cool with each other. Um, there is also Sekou Bunch, 45, from Los Angeles, California, a jazz musician. He ends up
Ooh.
being the star of episode 1, just of his bizarre life choices of how he's gonna conduct himself.
Yeah, you see him like, wasn't he the one that, like, took a lot of breaks? He just laid there for a bit multiple times.
That's correct.
Yes.
After, I think, making it imperative that they don't take a lot of breaks too, and giving out
Yes.
all delegating all the instruction, it was it was interesting, but we'll be talking about him very shortly. Uh, there's also Stephanie Favor, 35, from Columbia, South Carolina, who's a nursing student. So I wonder, and I don't remember, even though Joe and I, like, we've seen this season and we know this actually, I'm assuming you've seen the season, I guess.
I have.
You have seen it, right? Okay. So we generally know, but like for me, it's been quite a long time ago, and for you, not as long ago, I think, but still. Um, so I don't remember exactly how this goes, but student Stephanie, I think that would be like, I guess she's older, she might come off older, it might not be a problem, but that's like the risk if you're very young and not working. That's something that can be easily held against you. I think she'll be fine though, but I just noticed that right now.
Yeah, they haven't really talked about, like, their jobs in Hiki, so
I feel like that's
or in
another
general.
point to why, like, lying about being a lawyer or something doesn't make sense. How many times do we hear do do we know what these people do? We only know the lawyers. We don't know what anybody else does for work.
Yeah, it rarely comes up. Like it's in the subtitle, and I feel like maybe sometimes maybe even they it stops being a subtitle to you. Like in the beginning, it's definitely in the subtitle. Um, So yeah. And then Sandra Oakley, 31, from Los Angeles, California, who's an actress, which means I could, just like the professional volleyball player, I could look up her stats, so to speak, on IMDb if I want to. So that's interesting. So those are our 20 castaways on 4 different tribes of 5. And we've talked through a couple of storylines. I think we kind of zoomed through the big moments of the first episode. So they all kind of get to know each other. They have different reactions to this very strange theme of the season. They're all trying to build shelters on the different tribes. So on Hiki, Sekou seems to be the person trying to give instructions, but then not participating in it. So what a recipe for disaster. I mean, this has never ever worked out well. Of the combination, not only are you deciding to be the one who gives instructions, which opens the door to being considered to be bossy. On top of that, you're also not participating, opening the door to be considered lazy. The worst combination, I think. One of the worst combinations possible.
Yeah. And like the
And
first impressions is so important. Like, come on.
yeah, he was the one who said that he would make the fire and could make the fire before they had the flint. And I don't know how close he really was, but before he takes his break, they say like, "Oh, there's smoke, there's smoke." And then he gets up and walks away and says, "I need a break." Like, that seems like
Yes.
the worst time to walk away from starting a fire.
What did you need a break from? Like,
I'm sure it's tiring,
like,
like, you gotta go really hard for rubbing the 2 sticks together,
yeah.
but if you're committed, you gotta commit. You can't just give up.
Yeah. It just doesn't isn't a good look. And the moment you make fire, it's like, oh, that's impressive. Like, oh, he can make fire. Like that's really, really needed. We need that. But
And
he didn't
these
show
days in
that.
the tribe, yeah, these days as Survivor, like, if you have a solid person to make your fire, they'll stay. You need that on the island, especially, like I said, when they have to boil their water and they're catching fish and everything. If you get somebody who can make your fire, you're pretty secure.
Yep, yep. On Aitu, it ends up being Ozzy who most often either is giving instructions or leading. That doesn't get a huge emphasis until the second episode with like Christina and him end up I think like pretty passive aggressively butting heads. Like nothing really comes of it yet, at least.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if they're
Um,
just planting seeds for, issues in the future.
all I can say is that it is undeniable that Ozzy's athleticism looks impressive. I mean, he's climbing the coconut trees. You know, him and the whole tribe is also they're the ones like catching all this fish, right? Was that them?
Them and, Raro. Raro caught fish too.
And Raro.
But
Yeah,
it was
good on
Ozzy
these guys.
was at the top of the palm tree the one time, and Cece gave him the machete. He had it between his toes and brought it up to his hand at the top of the tree to cut down coconuts. That's insane.
Yeah, it's wild. I would just be worried, like, for your survivor story to end because you've climbed to the top of the tree and then fell off the tree and then injured your back and now you're medevaced. It'd be very sad.
Or
Like,
your teammate throws a coconut at you, hit you in the head, and then you got him medevac.
oh,
That was
we'll
what
see
I
that.
thought was, like, indicating was gonna happen because he was so violently chopping that down.
Oh my
I
god.
thought it was gonna hit Billy, and Billy's gonna be gonzo.
It'd be
Yeah,
targeted.
Billy.
Yes.
Oh my god. um, Puka, no one gets labeled, I think, as like a full. At least no one gets the bossy label, as far as I know.
No,
They
Puka's
seem
just how
okay in that
Cowboy's
respect.
different.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to dislike him, but they all poke some fun about how he's different.
Yeah, and then on Raro, uh, well, we talked about it. Somehow, some way, chickens are let loose, so that was odd. And then we get Adam and Candice, and that was really it. Um, which leads us to so they have their first ever immunity challenge. So another thing to point out, because there's 4 of us, that's a 4-way challenge with 3 tribes all getting immunity. In this one, 2 tribes might have got reward. Um,
I think all three tribes
Or
got flint, and one tribe got a fire starting kit. They got a full kit
that's
of fire starting
that's what
supplies.
it was. Yes. Yeah. So this is the idea that you want to win because you want immunity since it's a combined immunity reward challenge. And then but if you're first, you get a special reward. And obviously if you're last, you don't get anything.
And a very
The
cool immunity idol that separates into 3 for the 3 winning tribes.
Oh
Or,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like the idols that come apart, but I think it works better with 3 because there's 2, I feel there's always like the better half and the worse half. Which
Yeah,
can make
because even
sense,
with
but
this, it's a tiki, so one tribe gets the head, that's cool, and then the stomach and the feet are the other 2, which still look cool, but not as cool as the head.
yeah, yeah. This is where we find out that because really the what ends up being the story of this immunity challenge is after the immunity challenge. So Jeff very like cryptically is like he explains the challenge. It's like also I have this like letter that I'm gonna read, but we'll get to that later. And then the whole challenge happens. Then afterwards he reveals this thing where the losing tribe will decide someone from the other 3 tribes, pick one of them, and they're gonna go to Exile Island, an island where that takes a very little square feet, and there's seemingly nothing's there. None of your tribe members are there, and 2 days, you gotta stay there for 2 days, I think,
Yeah, with
and
just a thing of water, a pot, and, flint, I think.
yeah, this I can't remember, I'm just gonna call it Toddler's first and Ange's first Exile Island, unless you remember seeing Exile Island already, Ange.
I don't recall it, and I
Yes,
don't
so
love it right now.
yeah, so before you react, this ends up being a category of it's a feature of some seasons. A separate island referred to as Exile Island that typically one person goes to, maybe 2 people go to.
I feel like it's really underplayed too. Like, Jonathan goes the first time, and when we don't really see much of him, we see 5 minutes of him there when he first gets there, and then we see him coming back to his tribe, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it was hard." But that's 2 days alone on an island with nothing. Like, that has to be such a hard part of the game, and so much harder than even living on your island with your tribe. And we see nothing about it and really don't hear about, like, the challenge of it.
Which surprised me. I figured, like, especially this older season, they'd really make the, like, survival aspect a big part. Instead, they dedicate time to the other twist of Exile Island, which is everybody's told this up front, so this isn't something you, like, discover on your own there. Hidden at Exile Island is an immunity idol, and there will be clues, when you get there, and you might find it with the clue, you might not. And I noticed this when in that first episode, Jeff spells out the strategic decision you need to make. Hey, if you find it or if you don't, you can decide will I share that information or will I keep it to myself? And he says it in a way like explaining strategy, which is definitely a feature of older season because like that is totally implied nowadays. Like
Yeah.
Jeff doesn't need to tell you to the pros and cons of doing something or not doing something.
Yeah, like the
And,
tutorial mode has been skipped.
yeah, because this is only the 2nd or 3rd season that even has an idol, I believe, right? Because Guatemala was the first, and I don't know if Panama
Yeah,
had one.
I feel like it might be the 3rd 'cause I wonder if it, like, season with it, season without it, season with it, and then season with it. So it's either 2nd or 3rd, I feel.
Yeah. So, and it, obviously, they're still, as a show, kind of fine tuning how it works and stuff. So I appreciate Jeff kind of giving them that tip strategy wise. Like, hey, you don't have to give away everything you have.
Yeah, yeah. So Jonathan goes there. He's not happy about it. He attempts to look for this idol. He finds nothing. And you're right. He kind of no sells it at like afterwards. He's like, all right, I'm back. It was hard. Um, as the lead up to the first tribal council in the first episode is it ends up focusing on Sekou, who because of his antics of taking all these breaks, not only like I already told you, being being labeled as bossy, bad. Being labeled as lazy, bad. But because you're taking breaks, you're also taking breaks by yourself, opening the door for other people to build their bonds. That's strike three. This is setting up to be really, really, really bad for Sekou. And he does talk a bit with Nate. So it looks like they have some camaraderie. Jeff points out how when they picked Jonathan to go, it was only Nate and Sekou doing it, which was odd. And I have a feeling that's some inherent like masculineness that happened. But nowadays, you
Yeah.
could have said, like, if it happened now, actually, I would have said, what the girls are doing, they weren't part of it. If Jonathan's mad about this, they didn't decide. But I have a feeling that that's not the case this time.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like that shouldn't have happened. Like, if they wanted to play well, they should have worked as a team rather than acted on their own and picked.
their tribe definitely had the strongest gender lines. I don't know if it's just based on like Seku's personalities, kind of showed up, wanted to give orders and stuff. But even after they lose the challenge, how him and Nate are talking, and they say like it's 3 against 2. They're taking out one of us. We have to get one of them to split. Like it doesn't seem like there was any like consideration before that from Sekou or Nate to work with any of the girls, or from the girls to work with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I mean these are self-inflicted things. Like is his only hope was the Hail Mary, talk to Stephanie. Maybe she'll think it's better. But at least we're not shown any bonds have been built with her. So you were just hoping she on a whim was like, I'll stick with them. He does make the plea. I guess the one tangible plea he makes is, without me, you'll never have fire. But that sounds a lot better if you actually had made fire already. So, and you're about to get Flint after the Tribal Council too.
And it
So,
seems like the girls' main issue was just with Sekou, because once they go back and we see in the next episode, they seem to get along great with Nate with them. They work well as a team. Um, so it seems like it might have just been a personality clash more than actually guys against girls or anything like that. But Nate seemed to be closer to Sekou than the girls were.
yep, yep, yep. So it is Sekou, and I'm just looking up if it was so it was not unanimous. So Nate did attempt to vote with Sekou. Um, I guess risky, but if you're right, and he felt like his relationship was good enough that this wouldn't like ostracize him from them, maybe Stephanie would have voted with him. It's not so bad. Like nowadays, I think what would happen is now you didn't vote with us, so now it's clearly defined as us three against you, and he'd be in a really, really bad place.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
they lose in the future, he might just feel like he's out no matter what anyways, but at least from what we see from their tribe life and in the challenge, and, like, when they make the fire, they all celebrate and hug together and everything. It doesn't seem like there's any bad feelings between any of them.
Yep, yep, yep. So farewell, Sekou. Um, that didn't work out for you. I suspect there's no great desire to see Sekou again.
Unfortunately, it's a nar from me.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, so that brings us to the second episode. We get some of the same, like the how each, well, especially Puka, but like how each tribe is dealing with the the new gimmick, and but really more than that, the games, we're seeing them spend more and more time with each other, and for some people that's great, and for other people it's the beginning of rivalries and frustration. Um, just going through all four tribes on Raro. The big thing for them is, so Jonathan comes back, like we said, discovers that his tribe has not improved the shelter, has not tried to improve the shelter. He attempts to get the ball rolling on that, and for whatever reason, there was super strong pushback from Adam. Adam was not on board. They Jessica seemed to be on board, and then Candice and Parvati. I don't know that they cared much either way.
No, when
But
Adam forced Parvati to give her opinion, she did say that she'd like the floor more, but then Adam moved on from that and said that he didn't want to do it still.
Yeah, why did he ask if he didn't wanna hear it? Like, that made me so annoyed. He was so ugh. Adam was so annoying. He just went off too, and everyone's just staring at him like, "Okay." Even Candace just looking down like, "Man, now I don't even wanna cuddle with you tonight."
she did. There was a little scene where she's like, "You don't want to make him your enemy." She's like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna make him my enemy." Like, oh, okay. Are you gonna go apologize to him then? Like,
N Literally, like, what do you mean by that? You already made multiple enemies right now.
yeah. I mean, sure. Like everyone's hungry. Although, I mean, you're not as hungry relative to like plenty of other survivor tribes in the past. So so I don't know. Maybe he just had a bad day. Maybe he will come back next episode and just like repent, ask for forgiveness. So yeah, that was odd. That I'm not sure what's going on with him there. We already talked kind of Puka, more red marks being given to people. But you know what? We can talk about Yule. So Yule, uh, well, after we'll go back talk about the challenge. But after the challenge, it is Yule who is selected to go to exile, and wouldn't you know it, he puts together the clues. So he has the last time clue and the new clue, and he does it. He tracks down, he digs deep, and he finds this idol in the night wrapped up in a box, and he now has it. So far, real all we've heard about this is an idol that can protect you if you're voted out. So far, that is a description we've been given. So I think we leave it at that. But I mean, idols are useful, so this is good for you.
And that is incredible. He found that with 2 clues. That was I don't know. I've never searched for an idol, but on an island, buried in the sand, like a good 2 feet down, and you have to line it up perfectly with the 2 different islands other ways. I can't imagine what the future clues would have been to be helpful, but I the to find it that quickly is just crazy. I would have given up so much sooner.
Yeah, I would have been like, "How far do I dig?" Because it looked very deep where he was digging, and you gotta be very exact. Like, this is finding, like, a needle in a haystack. Like, this is worse. It's sand and in a big beach, and I know you said he's got nothing but time, but there's only so much time and
And
energy and water.
and they showed him marking, like, at least 3 different X's for potential places to dig, so I wonder how many holes he had to dig. And even the hole that he found it in, he kinda was off by, like, a foot. He found it in the side, which could seemingly just be lucky. Who knows how much he was expanding as he went. So I mean, a little bit of luck, I'm sure, but really incredible he found it so quick off of so little information.
I think that just has to goes to show, like, to put in that effort. Like, he was pretty confident. He's like, I think I know what they're going on, like, by these clues. So it's just a matter of can I get the right spot? And yeah, I mean, he got it done. So that's our first idol of the season, right? We don't know what he's gonna do. He may reveal it. He may keep it a secret. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um, I also wonder, like, what
Obvious
time? Like, was that hour 3 of him being there? Was it hour 10? Was it hour 26? Like that, we don't know.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I also was like, when the other guy came back from being exiled, nobody really, like, talked like, asked, like, "What did you find? Did you find anything?" Like, you know how when people go on to their adventure, going off on their journeys, they always come back needing to explain what happened and either make a story up or twist their story. We didn't see that, did we? Did I miss it?
I think it was just a small tidbit. I think Adam maybe said, like, "Did you find it?" And he said, "No,
Oh,
I looked forever, couldn't find it." And that was it. Just done. But I think,
Yeah, but oh, yeah, exactly.
it's hard for them to know since they're all on different tribes and don't know each other. But I
yeah.
think, Aitu choosing Yule to go there was not the best choice. I get they said they chose him because he was the strongest on their tribe, but they don't realize how smart he is. He's just
Yeah,
a smart guy to send over there with nothing but time and clues.
that's incredible. By the time he found it, I was still thinking about the clue he was provided. I'm like, how do you even think about that? These are riddles that are like too big brain for me. I would have been just sitting there, digging around, giving up after I can't find it.
Yeah, I think they must have just assumed at the time since he was in shape he wasn't smart, but he's definitely both.
Yeah. And the thing is that do you pick the person you think is most like strong and worrisome, or do you pick the one that is in the bottom? Is that what is the best way to do it in sending someone to Exile Island? Do you
I
want to
think
send
when
somebody, I don't know.
I think when there's an idol at that island, you don't send the strongest best guy or best person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think hypothetically, part of it's supposed to be weaken your enemies, so weaken their strongest guy or
Mhm.
girl.
I
But
think so too.
because it's tied with this idol, maybe it's just a fact that it's not fully understood how much of a asset an idol can be yet. So it's more like it's probably being treated like, it's just like a little advantage on that island, not a big deal.
Yeah, they're not
Like I
overthinking
won't have
it.
to deal with it.
They're just going surface level and like you said, thinking he's our strongest. Let's go send him be alone for a couple days and hopefully come back tired.
Yeah. Um. So that brings us to our final main topic, which is Aitu. So it seems that Billy has not changed the opinion of himself, at least certainly not in the eyes of Ozzy, Ozzy has decided he's essentially a waste of space, is not helping anywhere, is holding them back, and shouldn't be on the tribe. Therefore, we must throw this challenge to force ourselves to tribal council and vote out Billy. What a turn of events. Second
Pulling a
episode.
Burton. Mm-mm.
They talk about this day 4, so like the beginning of this episode. Second episode.
There's just how I feel about like how we talked about with Burton. There's no way you wanna just give up, like throw a game just to throw out your teammate because I want to lose a game and then throw him out, like, I'd rather win as much as I can, get as far as I can because there's no guarantee I'm gonna win a game in the future. So if I have a chance to win this game, I'm gonna win this game. I'm not gonna throw a game just because I wanna kick out a dude that's snoring. Like, that is crazy to me. I'm like, "Ozzy, sit down." Like, everyone sit down, think about this. There's not like it's a group of 8 people. There is only 5 of them? Like,
Yep.
after them, it's gonna be 4 of y'all. Who's gonna be? 25%? I'd rather not.
And if you think you're a good enough tribe where you have to throw, that's the only way you'll lose, why wouldn't you just try to win out? That way, whenever you merge, you have those numbers. Even if you don't like Billy, if you spend 2 weeks with him or however long before you merge, he's most likely going to stay with you guys and work with you guys. Or if you need to cut somebody, you just still have him on the chopping block.
Just episode 2, so early. Like, you could be 100% right about everything, but then you just win. In fact, he can sit out, so you don't even have to worry about that. Some of the episodes might have a reward challenge. We could sit out for that, and then, or he doesn't sit out for that, and then he sits out for the immunity challenge, and then the fluke loss you get, vote him out. Like it'd be one thing if you're replacing it with someone, but I don't understand how someone. I do understand he's not participating in what you're doing, but he's not making it more difficult. I mean, I guess he's eating your food. So maybe that means you're catching more, but I feel like you would just catch as much as you can regardless of how many people in the tribe.
And that's a good point, is they have to sit somebody anyways. So if they're worried about him holding them back in challenges, he doesn't have to participate in at least half of the challenges. And where he is shown doing the least, Ozzy is shown doing the most of anybody in the season. So they should just counterbalance each other. I get Ozzy doesn't like seeing somebody lazy, but he's doing more than he needs to anyways. He's supplying probably more than they need to. He had a full spear of fish. He's cutting down like 6 coconuts at a time. It doesn't seem like their tribe is wanting for anything.
Yeah, the edits make it seem like they're eating fish all day long. I'm like, "Are you guys not full?
And the
Are we
chickens.
are
They
we
caught
good?"
the
Let's
chickens and
go.
ate one of them.
I like how you were counting, you're like, "And that chicken, they're eating it."
Yeah, but it's not just Ozzy. I mean, JP's on board, Cece's on board, and then Christina will agree to it even if she's not on board. And so they go forward with this plan. So the immunity challenge happens. They have to they hear, by the way, this doesn't happen anymore in challenges. Jeff reads to them a story about the lore of the Cook Islands, Captain Cook himself. And then they run through an obstacle course. And along that obstacle course, they're meant to collect these planks, which have the answers to questions. There'll be trivia about the story at the end, and it's a race. There's also a help book station at the beginning of the challenge, and if you want to read the story again, you can untie that book and read it as long as you'd like, at risk of falling behind. And what a obvious throne challenge. I mean, they go overboard on how little effort they give. In fact, not only do they not try hard in the challenge, but JP himself sits out, which again would raise eyebrows to anybody, first of all.
When Billy
This
volunteers
is
to
so
sit
weird.
out and says, "I won't be good at this."
Yeah. Which
Everyone's
is
like, "I volunteer to go," and Billy's just like, "Yeah, yeah, let me go," and then it's just bad.
red flags. That should be red flags. So they throw. They lose by a lot. They do pick Yule, which may cost them in future, but they don't know that yet. And finally, like after all this, Billy is like, this could be bad for me. I better start trying to make my situation better now.
But even before that, there's a special moment before
Of
he
course, of
yes,
course.
iconic
Yeah.
moment from Billy.
Yes. Let's make this give it the time it deserves. So it's true that Billy is feeling worried about the situation after the tribe loses. But Jeff lines them all up, the usual end of the uh challenge recap. You won. This person goes to the and I only mentioned Billy's feelings because he says to the Raro tribe, he's like, "Oh, it's gonna be me." So like he's worrying about it. And I think multiple people from Raro are being like, "No, it's fine. You're okay." Candice specifically says, "Yeah, we fine. We love you." I think a very usual, a normal thing to do when you're standing in a group and you're kind of giving generic comfort because you don't know this person. And in response to this, Billy, looking already kind of starstruck, if you think back on how that played out, responds, "I love you." And
I
discuss.
with the face of awe, like, "Oh my god, you love me? I love you." I was like, "Wait, he did not say that. Oh, no, he didn't say that." I was embarrassed for him for a moment because I'm like, I think he took it as if she loved him, not an endearing, like, "Oh, don't feel bad, like, we love you, like, we want you to stay here." But he took it as, "I love you. Yes. Yes." I was dying. I was shocked. I didn't know this was
It just
coming.
comes out of no, like nothing. A credit to the editors. Nothing was hinting at this. This was not expected. The only clue is like we were lingering on this like side conversation for like a beat longer than usual, but whatever, weird editing thing. And then we get this.
And it was like, just like you said, nothing is 2 seconds. "Oh, we love you. I love you." And then that's it. Nothing else until the end of the
Commercial break.
episode. You could have forgotten about it. You could have missed it.
Oh. I could have been like, "Wait, I think I misheard." Like, if I was watching this on TV, I would be like, "What did he just say?" Like, "He didn't say that."
But they even
Whatever.
subtitle it. They subtitle the "We love you" and the "I love you," I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Just think about like what analysis was being done in this situation to hear either hear "we love you" or hear even if you did hear you should be completely perplexed. Why would random person who I don't know, at best I saw a bit while they were holding us before the season, why would that person just declare their love for me now?
Yeah, like when he said it to Candice, I don't think Candice thought twice. I think she just thought, okay. But when Candice
Odd.
said it to
Right?
him, clearly his heart skipped a beat and he saw butterflies.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a normal person. It's like, "We love you." It would be like, "Oh, I love you guys too." But instead it was just like, "I love you." Like, period. No, not you guys. You. And I'm like, "Why? Oh my gosh, why are you saying these things?"
The schoolyard gossip afterwards on Raro. But honestly, maybe the no gossip because they're just like, that was weird. He couldn't have said that right. Nah, it must have been something else. They would just move on.
Right? Or they go back and they're like, oh, poor guy. He said he's going home. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I
It's
wanna
crazy.
know what Candace felt. Like, I wish there was a reaction or something, but there's none. So I'm like, "Okay, never mind."
For all you know, they could be married right now.
I That would be crazy. That
That's
would
true.
be a love
You
story
gotta
that I was not aware of.
you gotta wait till they're if they're ever both eliminated, which could happen. I mean, by the end of the season, I guess that's true because everyone's eliminated. Um, that's when you'll find out.
I can't wait.
But that's not the end of the story because yes, it's true. Billy is concerned for his own safety. There's a hilarious cut where he declares, "I gotta do something about it." Cut to not him doing something about it, but instead to go hang out with Yule on Exile Island. And it's like, oh, all right. But we do get back to him eventually. His best shot in the dark is to talk to Christina, and we don't really like his pitch is kind of weak, but he essentially is trying to play on the distrust of Ozzy,
Yeah,
and then that
he went to the right person by going to Christina because they showed us that her and Ozzy kind of butt heads. And what do we know? He might be right in telling her that she's next if they lose again. But everybody but Billy in throwing feels that they'll win every other challenge. Whether or not they do, who knows? But they threw feeling confident if we don't have Billy, we'll never go back.
yeah, that's it's. I
Yeah,
was
that
trying
makes
to think
sense.
of what other strategy could he have done? Because in the moment, I'm like, is this really your best shot? You're gonna try to convince one person and then hope that that person can convince the third.
I think it was. I think he went to the right person. I just don't think he really had much of a chance. And I
Yeah, and
think
I was thinking it through.
had he done anything productive, because obviously just the way him and JP butt heads at Tribal, they were not gonna. JP wasn't gonna change. But I think going to Christina and hoping Christina could change CC seemed like the right call. But I don't know how close CC is that with everybody. We haven't seen much of her to know like who her number one is or who she spends most time with. But Billy, he said it earlier that he just feels like he's the outcast, and he wasn't wrong. He was the outcast, so he only had so many outlets.
Yeah, let this be a lesson. The very first moment you detect you are getting on the outs, start doing something about it immediately,
Yeah,
or
reintegrate into
else
the group.
you just don't have enough time because I mean, honestly, he's lucky that Christina cared about him at all. Otherwise, he would have had no chance, no one to even have sympathy on him, and he would have been a dead duck. Which brings us to Tribal Council. Now, I was excited, and maybe we were all excited because Jeff, what he hates the most is quitters. Similar to quitters, like quitters adjacent would be throwing a challenge. He doesn't have the same amount of vitriol for it, but he does tend to grill you on it if you threw a challenge. And we start getting it. He Billy basically makes the accusation that it was thrown, it's not denied, so it comes out being true. It's all set up for Jeff probably making them see the hypocrisy of you trying to be this model of strength of a tribe and yet you're throwing challenges. But Jeff's plan is thrown aside because Billy kind of just unprompted decides to say look, I'm not here for like the $1 million really, which like, oh no, I hate when I hear that, but okay. Like he's like, actually, like I was here for love, and I found like my true love. I'm like, wait, what? And then
Did all the members just have their heart drop? Like, I hope it wasn't me. Like,
Candice from Raro tribe?
Yeah, it's just like great. Like you met someone here. Yeah, I met Candice. He's
Love at first sight.
like love at first sight. Jeff like leans, like jerks forward in his chair, eyes wide.
his hand like in front of his mouth, like in shock. Like I'm trying like every composure. I've never seen Jeff lose like that. Like he's in it. He's like, give me more tea, Billy. Give me more.
And I mean, this
Yeah.
might be a time where Jeff wasn't fully filled in on everything, but he really seemed shocked by it. Like, it seemed like he was blown away. His eyes got huge. Like, I assume now everything that happens on the beach or in Challenge, Jeff is briefed on before they go. But I don't think Jeff knew about that.
I doubt it. I mean, it was such a small moment, and that's probably why, like, afterwards, like, after the travel, he's like, "Editors, go through the footage. We go through the footage. We need to find something."
He says they said, I love you. Did they really?
Did they?
Show me the proof. Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. I'm like, Billy, where did we go wrong? What happened, Billy? No. Does
And
Candace
then
know you guys are in love?
yeah, he says love at first sight or love, and Jeff, I mean, because I think he's caught off guard, he's just fired for the hit, but he decides to ask every member what they think of Billy's true love. Which I think I think that was a little rude
And
because
clearly Billy didn't talk about it. I mean, granted, he was kind of, like you said, the outcast, but none of them knew about it. They were all as shocked as he was.
yeah, this is and you said it when we were watching. If anything else, if anyone was planning maybe to do an uprising and blindside Ozzy or JP and join Billy, they're like, all right, this guy is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Kind of kind of off the chain here. Maybe I distance myself from this.
Yeah, I feel like at that moment they were both like, "Yeah, we can't keep that. I'm sorry." Like no matter how it's the fact that, I mean, it makes sense not picking Ozzy because Ozzy is doing the brunt work and like picking the coconuts, getting the fish, getting the food, which is so important in Survivor and to see if they're going to win in the future. So it makes sense that way. But then I think the moment he's like he's in love and there's Candy, like, "Oh, man." Like, because then they're thinking if they are, like, all together, if they're working together, is he gonna be good? Is he gonna be a good mate to work with? Like, Alliance, I would be a little scared because he would be easily pulled. Like, he sees Candace, and now he thinks he's got a showmance going on, and then he's gonna betray everyone. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think they
For
were
love.
wrong in getting rid of Billy. I just
Yeah.
don't think they had to throw to do it. But
Yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure.
Billy was gonna be a huge part of strategy or team play or anything in this season.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Cause like on paper, I want like a strategic alliance. If I join with Billy, I got like and he might be an outcast, so he has no one else. He only has me. When we get to the merge, he's not a challenge threat. So like if I had to beat him, I could beat him. Uh I feel like there is some value there. If he's not coming up with his own strategies, then he's just following my orders. So that's good. But yeah, and you do bring up the awkwardness if like Candace also makes the merge. Suddenly I'm abandoned for this true love, which may or may not exists. And
Yeah,
then
and
that
I
could
can't
be
trust someone that is a little sorry, Billy, a little delulu. Like, I'm sorry. I can't trust you. I'm scared.
okay. That being said, so it ends up being a unanimous vote. All four of them vote against Billy. Billy votes for Ozzy. In the name of true love, would you want to see Billy return for another season?
Definitely nar. No.
No, no. There could be like Team Billy versus Team
Oh
Candace.
my gosh, if it was a couples and it became Billy and Candice together, matched in, down, in it.
Okay. But the drawing board. Next time's in the hands of the fans.
Yeah.
So there we go. We have gotten through the first two episodes of the infamous Survivor Cook Islands. Crazy roller coaster. There was a lot to talk about. Literally, the most amount of castaways we've ever had to talk about at once. And I'm very curious and how your reaction. So when we talked off the podcast about episode 1 only, I think you were still developing your opinion because, like, obviously it's a weird thing to watch and you're in the shock of seeing what this twist is. So as your opinion developed more after now you have 2 episodes of what the season's gonna be.
I do think so far it's 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 good. It's okay. It's good okay in terms of like I see some people kind of budding where I'm like, okay, I could see that you're gonna be really maybe a possible like star player or a good decent player. I don't know, but I still think it's still like in the beginning for me. Um, so yeah, I do wanna see, like, if Jeff would be, like, being like, "What does it mean to be this? What does it mean to be this?" in these, like, tribal groups, and I'm most, like, curious, how are they gonna work when they merge together? Because are they gonna divide? Like, we talk about, like, David's versus Goliath, is it gonna stay with that? Because when David's versus Goliath, they stayed on their own thing and never really mixed together, it's like, "Okay, they're David and Goliath." When this is going on this is a fine line between not working because it's another tribe versus racism here. We're going through a fine
No,
line.
your
So,
concern is
I'm
very fair. I am positive on people's first viewing, that is a huge concern. People are like, they're thinking ahead to when if members of these tribes are ever mixed or at the merge, what like,
yeah,
literally, like, how will they tell the story as the editor? What are you gonna do?
yeah,
And
I
and also people are people, like, things could happen, especially if the
yeah.
season's emphasizing race. So, yeah. But so far, I mean, we haven't had that yet. Like, so far,
No, yeah, no, not
we're
yet.
okay.
I don't see anything. I feel like it's still okay, but again, it's only 2 episodes out of I don't know how much, but 2 episodes. It's good so far. I'm intrigued. A little worried, but I'm also intrigued enough that I wanna know what's gonna happen.
But look, you have the opinion of one person, our trusted ally here, Joe, who says his end result feeling was positive about the season. So
Yeah.
that could be a good sign.
Yeah, I was just
No,
reading
that's good.
it's definitely top 15, it might be top 10. I mean, at
Oh,
for a
okay.
for a Survivor season, it's probably right in that cusp between, like, 15 and 8 or so. Because I've never personally ranked my favorites, but it is a really good season, and, like, that's a huge highlight already, that Billy scene. I think about that almost weekly in my life. I just Candice
I
from
love
Raro
that.
Tribe replays in my head over and over again. Um, and there's a lot of like I said, this season has a lot of spotlights that kinda highlight what helps Survivor grow and what Survivor can turn into. So it's an influential season, even though it's got the really dark cloud of being separated by race.
Yeah. I'm curious. If I
And
was
I'd
Billy, I
say
think I'm never gonna stop thinking about that.
I
You
think
think about it weekly, he thinks about it daily. I think
yeah, I think it's insane that they separated by race, but at least so far, there hasn't been anything nasty about it. Or, like, bad about
do
it. You get worried come, like, the merge that they're almost setting up to, like, not work with other races, which wouldn't be
yeah.
okay, but so far, it's like it's the perspective of the players we get are like, "Oh," I feel like the most diverse we had were the Puka tribe, where they were like, "So and so is Korean, so and so is Filipino, so and so is Vietnam, so, yeah, we're in an Asian tribe, but we're not the same." But besides that, I feel like they're all, working well and not being no negativity so far.
Yeah. Do you guys think that there was like if they were not split into this, would it have changed the season in any way? Or is that too spoily? Maybe it's too spoily.
Mm, that's a good question. I mean,
Well,
I'm
if
sure it
if
would have, but I think Billy and Sekou could have been the first 2 to go, no matter how tribes are split.
I see that.
yeah,
I
I mean,
actually see that.
if you if you just shuffle this into 3 tribes of 6 and then cut Sekou and Billy, which is we've said we would lose Billy, but that's probably just a current era season because then you get the positive of this, which is super diverse cast,
Yeah.
which is originally what the point of this was. I mean, I think the idea is have the most diverse cast ever on like competition reality TV.
Yeah, and I think it
And
was like the most
technically,
diverse cast up until New Era.
so yeah, so by technicality, I mean that it succeeds at that. However, whatever else happens in the season, it is the most diverse of the time, and you're right, for a long time too. So I mean, it probably still what probably happens is we see a lot. We skip all this extra uh what it means to be this race, which we've gotten a little bit of. Hasn't been a huge theme yet. And then what would happen is, like, if Brad and Yule are on the same tribe by chance, maybe they connect compared to, like, the other people. So maybe you get things like that. So it'd probably be good.
And there is a
But
higher chance where if
yeah.
it's just Brad and Yule on a tribe, for instance, with I don't know, 2, 3 people from um like Aitu or something, that one of them goes first just for being a minority on the tribe. So if
Yeah,
those 2 hit it
literal
off and
minority on the
without
tribe, yeah.
anybody else, that always lowers your chances of staying on, especially in early game where it can be the littlest difference that gets you sent home. You don't really know these people yet. You're just looking for a reason to get rid of them. So I think that the separation probably did keep some players longer than they potentially could have. But like I said, I think this season with the first 2 boots, it's super likely no matter what that Sekou and Billy would have gone home first. They were 2 very, very easy first boots.
Yeah, honestly, maybe it should have been, like, I don't know. I guess it had to be if, like, 4 tribes of 4 would be really, really small, but just 20 is a lot. 20 is a
Yeah.
lot. But,
But we hear about it
yeah.
all the time with like how like black women are voted out super early on in the show all the time. And just because you look, even if it's not you're looking for it, any small difference, whether you notice it or not, can be a reason why somebody goes home. Any reason why they're a little bit different or don't fit in as well. And same with just women in general in the start or pre-merge. And then there's, I mean, up until I believe New Era, we only had like one black woman winner.
And look at I mean, 2 men are voted out as the first 2 votes. I wonder what the stats are on that. How often are first and second out both men?
Yeah, that's got to be super infrequent. So there's
So, right?
positives. I think that the layout
Positives.
probably did inadvertently cause a lot of positives. It's just a ugly way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Last order of business then is, and you knew this moment was coming. So it's odd because we got 4 tribes, not 2, but you are still required to make your 2 winner picks. Um, and I will say not because I'm allowing you to have more than 1 winner pick, the consequences, they cannot be from the same tribe, original tribe.
Okay. All right. I think I think I'm gonna pick. Okay, let me think about this. Okay, I'm gonna pick. I'm looking at the list. I'm gonna pick Nate because I feel like Nate is having a pretty good like this moment of them making the fire together was very wholesome, and I feel like with his tribe now, the remaining 3 without Sekou, they're going to be a strong tribe, and he's a very like he seems like a very good social person too, very lovable guy. I think he would be a good potential winner pick for me. All right, that's Hiki? Okay. And then the next one would be the one that recently found an idol, and I think he has, like, a good relationship with B Becky. I think they had this good moment of, like, Becky the attorney, right? Yeah, the attorney.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say Yule. I think he is very charismatic, very strong, and he's the only person that I feel like has some sort of building relationship going on and an advantage. So he's kinda pretty pumped up right now out of everybody. So, I'm gonna pick these 2 guys.
Solid picks, solid picks. I have to point out though, was your decision biased at all by these to choose from Puka versus our beloved Aitu and Raro?
Okay,
Just say just saying the facts are the facts.
That's why I said you couldn't pick 2 from the same tribe because you would have picked 2
Yeah.
Pukas.
there could be a chance because I feel like okay, full context. I'm Asian, but I feel like I need to vote out my peeps here. But and I also told Will, I'm like, if is it Raro? If Raro wins, I'm just gonna say they're racist. No, I'm kidding. I can't say. So I'm not picking anyone from Raro, no matter how much they're winning. I'm
Isn't that
sorry.
racist?
I gotta. No, I just gotta
Oh no, the true
represent.
colors revealed.
But so yeah, those are my two winner picks.
Okay, I think both good reasoning for both. We'll see how well this worked. Hopefully you do better than F did last season with instantly his 2 picks getting voted out and quitting. So uh let's hope you do better than that.
It was pretty bad.
All right, we did it. Thank you everyone for tuning in for our first episode for Survivor Cook Islands. Thank you, Joe, for lending us your expertise as we start this journey.
Yeah, thank you guys so much again for letting me on. I really enjoyed this. This was a blast.
And just throwing it out there, as you remind yourself what happened in the season, if you want to request a certain episode to come back, that can certainly be arranged.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yep. So tune in next time as we will break down episodes 3 and 4. And we shall see how close to getting canceled this show got back in 2006. So thank you everyone. Until then, and until we speak again, ciao.